Dream Scenario is directed by Christopher Borgli, and going into this movie, I honestly didn't really know much about it. I didn't see the trailer. I just love weird art films, and I love Nicolas Cage, so when I hear that Nicolas Cage is going to be in a crazy A24 film produced by Ari Aster, dude, I'm so sold. I don't need to know anything else. In fact, the less I know going into it, the better. But as it turns out, this movie is kind of a play on the This Man internet urban legend, if you ever heard of that. It kind of follows Nicolas Cage playing this really weird, awkward college professor who ends up randomly popping up in people's dreams around the world, and it kind of becomes a cultural phenomenon. And we kind of see the internal and external struggles he faces when choosing to embrace this phenomenon. So right off the bat, this movie actually reminded me a lot of the films of Charlie Kaufman on a conceptual level. I'm a really huge fan of Charlie Kaufman, so seeing a lot of the influence worn on the film's sleeve kind of sucked me in really well, even if it wasn't told in the depth that some of Kaufman's films really go for. There's still a lot this movie is saying, and honestly, I really loved the experience. In fact, this might be one of my favorite movies of the year. It's definitely not perfect. I think at a certain point, it kind of strays a little bit away from the fascinating dream philosophy of all of it and kind of delves more into talking about cancel culture and stuff like that. And I don't think that's much of a spoiler to say the movie delves into that. And yeah, I think that a lot of the best art does discuss modern day political and social issues, and I think we should tackle that in entertainment. It's more just, it was very obvious and on the nose with a lot of what it was saying regarding that, and at a certain point, the movie just felt like it was preaching about cancel culture. Still, that doesn't change the fact that this is a very unique, hilarious, disturbing, surreal experience that I recommend for anyone who is a big film fan, because this is something you should definitely treat yourself to. In fact, there were large segments of the movie where I was thinking, is this my favorite movie of the year? This movie actually has, without a doubt, my favorite scene I've seen in a movie this year, and all I'm gonna say is that it involves a bodily function of some kind, and it's absolutely hysterical and so perfectly executed. Nicolas Cage is wonderful in this movie, and his performance honestly takes a little bit to get used to, and I can see it not fully landing for some people. He takes some interesting swings with the character, like he definitely plays up that awkward factor. Okay, I'll let you go. He was getting in cabinets, I had to do something. And right at the start of the movie, I thought it was a little jarring, but I trusted it, and I'm glad I trusted the performance, because fuck, it's awesome. So while not every element of the movie fully works or glues together, that doesn't change the fact that I was just flat out riveted by this film. And honestly, I think it has potential to become like a really popular cult classic as the years go on. I can definitely see this being one of those movies where someone's like, oh my god, you haven't seen Dream Scenario? We are watching this right now. This is the craziest movie ever. It's unlike anything you've ever seen. Because it's true, this is a crazy fucking movie, and it's unlike at least most things I've seen. And I can't stress this enough, easily the funniest movie I've seen all year. And even though it's not like an outright comedy, like it is, I would say, essentially a dark psychological thriller / comedy. But despite the fact that it's in this weird subgenre, it's just absolutely hysterical. It perfectly embodies the strangeness of the creature that is Nicolas Cage in all the best possible ways. So overall, I'm actually going to give Dream Scenario a very strong 8 out of 10.